Gao, gao! Tabby, gao! Hello, everyone. Hello, Memento. Hello, Nanashi. Hello, Cerberin. Hi. How are you doing? How is everyone doing? After the other day in which my iPhone wasn't working properly, I was able to get my iPhone working, and I kind of recalibrated this model a bit. Well, what do you think? What do you think of the model? この動いているはどうかな？どうかな？何を考えているかな？フェミーさん来てくれてありがとう。僕のモデルはもっと動いているかも。もっと動いていると思うんだけど。Hello, Alice. Hello. Welcome. Today we are just doing a free chat. We're not doing a test. We're not playing a game. We're just doing a free chat. It looks pretty good. Okay. I screwed it up and I couldn't move the mouth very well. And like for some reason my head does like a weird little jerk to the side. If you see anything like that, let me know and I can like try and fix it later. But here's the whole model. Let me see if I can pull it forward. ちょっと待ってくれよ. Here's the full model, and it's supposed to be more agile, I guess. It's supposed to be more fluid. I had to follow a guide. I wanted the eyebrows to be better, and I wanted the arms. They can only move so much, but it kind of looks like I'm dancing a bit, huh? Kinda. Anyway, let me get back to where I was. I'm right here. Okay. And put myself right here. Whoops, I'm actually too far. There we are. Okay. Boogie Bear. Love the shoes. Thank you. Hello, Dolcino. I'm working hard on your commission, so don't worry. I've been working pretty much all day today. Hello, Chief. Hello. How are you? I've been working pretty much all day today. I was working on the commission this morning. I was translating English to Japanese, and then my friend needed me to record something with her, and I got it all set up, but it wasn't working, so I had to put on all my gear, all my my VR gear and my motion tracking gear. I had to get all of it set up. That was kind of a pain. In the butt. And then since then I've just been tweaking. I've been tweaking with the calibrations, with the movements of this model, trying to make it more lifelike, I cannot for the life of me figure out how to get Vtuber to work. And I don't think the mouth is opening enough, honestly. I don't think the mouth is opening enough, because sometimes I mumble a little bit, and when I mumble, it doesn't really pick up on the mouth movement so much. I don't know. But hopefully it's like more reactive? I don't know. I hope so. I hope it's more reactive at least. I hope so. Anyway, so that's my day. I took a break to go on a hike with Momo-chan and Mama-kuma. So I did that. I took a shower, and other than that, I've been working on commissions. I've been working on recordings, and I've been trying to calibrate this model correctly now that my iPhone is working again. So that's what I've been working on. And I just got a reminder that was like, it's time to stream! Thank you! I'm already streaming though. Mama-chan had a bit of a rough hike actually. I guess it was too hot for her. And like you can like smell smoke from like, there's like a bunch of wildfires. There's like a bunch of wildfires. So, it's not good air quality, and we didn't want to be out there for too long for obvious reasons. But we went on a little hike, and then we came back. And I got grocery money, but I had to spend some of it on a stupid bill. So I'm really mad at myself. I'm really mad at myself, but like I had to pay it. What could I do? You know? So, you know, if anybody wants an extra commission, I'd really love that. That'd be great. Anyway, that aside, we are less than 2 weeks to the trial release. It is the 3rd, it comes out on the 12th, so we're exactly 9 days away. Oh my god, 9 days! Can you believe it? 9 days away. I live in the upper part of the south, and the lower air quality down here is the wildfires. Oh no! That sucks, I'm so sorry. I used to live in an area with a lot of wildfires, like constantly on fire. Every summer, constantly on fire. Sky was orange, it was like a whole thing. So I am very used to like the smell of wildfires. I'm very used to like crazy air quality. Unfortunately, you know, I just hope that the wildfires are put out soon. And like, I know some people at the state opposite of us have been having to been evacuated. It's very scary. Please stay safe. Like, and then you have like the earthquakes in Japan. It never ends. So, you know, 気をつけてみんな。絶対に気をつけてね. Please be careful, everyone. It's scary. It's nowhere near so bad that none of us can go outside, thankfully. I'm being cautious, and I'm not going outside, cause like it's not good air quality. Like why would I want to go out in that? I don't. Let's see. I heard about those. My friends used to live around the Kumamoto. I know it's not like a pun or anything, but it's close. It's close to a pun. It's very close to a pun. I hope your friend is okay, Cerberine. By the way, I wasn't making light of the earthquakes. It's just Kumamoto. It's like ironically very close to motokumakko. Very close, ironically. I've seen some smoke too. Yesterday it was very smoky here. Oh no! It's like the whole world is on fire. No! Hello, Blackness. I would have been here sooner, but I thought you were streaming tomorrow. Well, normally I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays, but because I've been having like a weird schedule with recording for my friends and such, I've been moving around the days I schedule, and I have not actually put out this week's schedule yet, but I will. Probably tomorrow morning because I'm tired, but I will put out the schedule, not Wednesday. Thursday is when I'm gonna stream again. Thursday, I'm gonna be streaming Nurse Love Addiction, 5 p.m. PST, same time as now. And on Saturday, I'm gonna be streaming Subarashi Hibiki, Subahibai, and that'll be on Saturday. So Monday, Thursday, Saturday this week, and I will put up. I'll put up a proper schedule so nobody gets confused. I did post this morning. If anybody wants to submit questions about anything really, but also about the game. About the game would be great. I'd love to answer questions. You can follow that link in the chat, the stream element. You can go over to my marshmallow and you can submit some questions. I do have a couple questions which we're gonna answer. Let's see, she lives in Osaka now and she's fine. Okay, good. I'm glad she's fine, I'm glad. No, I didn't. I know you probably didn't think I was, like, making light of natural disasters, but just to, like, in case somebody takes it out of context or anything, you know, I want to, like, cover my bases. Let me get a really quick sip of water, and then we're gonna chat some more. We're gonna chat some more is what we're gonna do. So let's see, so the trial version coming out in 9 days. Very exciting. Very exciting. I sent out a bunch of emails to like the press and people who I thought would maybe cover it early. And I got one taker so far. Irina is going to cover it this week. Let me see if I can pull up a graphic. Hold on. Where is Irina's? Where's Irina? Hold on. I need to pull up her schedule so you all can see it. Here we are. Here we are. So if anybody's interested in getting like a sneak peek, Irina is going to be playing it. I don't know if you can see it too well. I don't know if you can see it too well. But Irina is going to be playing it. This Wednesday she's going to be playing it. Right there, captured by the wedding veil. She's going to be playing it. 5 p.m. EDT, 2 p.m. PDT, 10 p.m. BST. I don't know what that is, but anyway. So if anybody's curious, you can check it out at Irina's channel on Wednesday. I'm gonna check it out. I won't say anything, but I'll probably like lurk. I'll lurk in the chat. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to scare anybody off from giving their opinion. You know, like if the developer for a game is in chat, I'm gonna be extra nice to the developer. You know, and I don't want to like get a dishonest opinion. Yeah. I want to hear what people think about the game. Hopefully people like it, because this is the second day in a row that I haven't been able to sleep, because I'm so nervous what people will think of it. I'm really quite nervous. I really hope that people like it. I really hope that people want to play it. I hope that people enjoy it. I really hope that it gets a good reception and it's not just written off as like that crazy Japanese dating sim. You know, those Chinese porn games. I don't want it to be dismissed like that. I don't want it to be, you know, like the object of like derisive attention. I don't want it to be like the object of bullying. Or like harassment, which I've already been at the center of. So I want people to enjoy it. I want people to like it. I want it to be like the next Katawa Shoujo. Well, I can be a little, I can dream big, okay? I can dream big. But if I could, that is what I would want. I would want people to really like it. I'd love for it to become like a great big hit. And like merchandise and like anime adaptation, you know, one can dream, right? So I really hope that people like it. I am nervous because of like the subject matter. Like somebody said, maybe they didn't mean it in a bad way, but somebody said like the cute art wrapped around like the Omegaverse story is like a windowless van. And that kind of made me feel kind of cruddy. It's like, what do you mean, a windowless van? I'm very open about the fact that it's Omegaverse. What is wrong with Omegaverse? Are you trying to say there's something like predatory about Omegaverse? Like what? I don't understand what they were trying to say. And like, I'm very clear what kind of game this is from the start. The very first thing you see when you load the game is a warning screen. And this warning screen tells you exactly what's gonna be in this game. Gonna be, you know, some violence. There's gonna be some sensitive topics. You know, there's like allusions to incest, you know. Like, so nobody can say that they haven't been warned. And if they ignore the warning, then that's their own fault. You know, if you ignore the big old trigger warning page at the very beginning of the game, that's your fault. Maybe it's a windowless van if the person in question is stupid. I don't know, like, they probably didn't mean anything bad by it. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Like, whoever, if you are the person who said that, please elaborate, because I really, what do you mean by that, buddy? What do you mean by that, pal? I don't understand what you meant by that. Like, I'm not hiding the fact that it's Omegaverse. I'm not hiding the fact that it's taboo, you know? I played the Omegaverse game that advertises itself as Omegaverse, and I had to see Omegaverse content. How could this possibly have happened? Should be obvious to people, but some people click fast and skip it. Like, I think it forces you to look at the warning page for like 5 seconds, and then you can click past it. So, like, unless you just refuse to read, like, that's your fault. That's your fault. In, like, the opening monologue, it talks. It introduces you to the world about, like, the ruts and the heat, and like the power dynamics, like the very first monologue. And yes, there's nothing explicit in this game. You know, there's nothing adult in this game. The spiciest thing that happens in the trial version is like some light making out that's like fully clothed. Some light making out that's fully clothed and like talked about in very vague terms, you know? So people should be able to handle it. If you're 17 and up, if you're mature enough to handle it, if you're of that age and you can read and you have healthy distinction between reality and fiction, you should be able to handle the content. And if you do not like Omegaverse, if you do not like incest and taboo stuff, then don't play it. Just don't play it. I don't care if you play it or not. It's a free game. I'm not making any money off of it. I would love it if people did play it though. But obviously not if you're uncomfortable with it, not if you hate it. You know, if you hate it, then don't play it. You know, I did have a review that was very blatantly malicious on my first game, and it was like, this is so depressing, I don't know who to root for, every ending was sad. And it's like, did you see the tag for Utsuge? Meaning like depressing game? Did you see the tag? I don't understand. You play the depressing game and you're shocked that it's depressing? Question mark? I don't understand. Some people just don't want to read, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I may joke that it's like a funny little moe game, but like it's not. It's not. It's pretty dark. Like there's no gore or anything. But it's plenty dramatic and there's plenty of implied content that you should be in the right headspace to handle before you read it, you know? It's like playing Disco Elysium and getting mad it's got politics in it. I don't know what Disco Elysium is. If it's not a visual novel, I don't know what it is. But anyway, I'm gonna read some marshmallows that I got, because that's the whole name of today's stream. Okay, let me see. Let me pull up some. Let me see. I got a few more since then, but let me pull up. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. Hold on. Let me see if it'll let me. No? No? You're not gonna let me? Hold on. Hold on. Come on, man. Like this? No? Aha! Okay. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So we got one. And I want to be clear to the person who sent this in, I've never played Dungeons & Dragons. I've never played Dungeons & Dragons. I don't know what it's about, aside from like Dungeons & Dragons. I know it was like the center of Satanic Panic, and I know it got like a knockoff in Riverdale called Griffins and Gargoyles. But I personally have never played Dungeons & Dragons, so I'm gonna try my best, okay? Let me get a sip of water. The Captured by the Wedding Veil gang is sitting at the table playing Dungeons & Dragons. Who is playing what? Okay, good question. Good question. Melissa is playing a healer. If that is a class, then Melissa is playing a healer. Oleander would be playing a mage, like support. He would be playing like a mage. Keep in mind, I don't know what the actual classes are in Dungeons & Dragons, so I'm just going off of what I kind of know. Fuyuko would be like a thief. If there's such a class, she would be like a thief. Or like, if there's a rogue or a thief, she would be that. And then Mabel would be probably like a white mage or somebody who does like healing magic, I think. I'm sorry, I don't know what the classes are. Rogue? Okay. Awesome. It can be about whatever you want, really. There are different settings and different stories. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. Can you guess I've never played it? Who's bringing the snacks? I think everybody would probably bring a little something except for Fuyuko. Fuyuko would bring nothing. She would bring nothing. Maybe condoms. She would bring nothing. Mabel would bring like proper food, like she would order pizza or something for everybody. Melissa would probably bring like some chips or some edible finger food, you know, some little snacks. Oleander would probably help out and also bring some beverages and silverware and stuff like that. But yeah, Fuyuko would bring nothing. Who is the DM? Oh, Mabel. Mabel is the DM, absolutely. DM is Dungeon Master, I think. Who's really getting into it? I think Mabel would really get into it. She likes it, and I think Fuyuko would like act like she's not into it, but I think she would actually, surprisingly, she would kind of like seeing what she can get away with, like, you know, roll for charisma, roll for intuition or whatever. But Fuyuko would also get frustrated, and she would like be tempted to cheat. Who is power gaming? By power gaming, I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe you mean like power modding, like when somebody like tries to control other people. Is what I'm guessing. It's what I'm guessing that would be. Who is power gaming? God, probably Mabel. She's very controlling, so probably Mabel. And then Fuyuko would like try and match her because she's very competitive, and Fuyuko hates Mabel's guts. And you know, it goes the other way as well. So I think Mabel would probably be power gaming on the sly, and then Fuyuko would like try and beat her because she hates losing. So thank you for the wonderful question. I'd love it if like I got fan art of that. That sounds so fun. Okay, that's one. Fuyuko would land that first sneak attack and be like, "That's so fucking cool." Power gaming is pretty much when you have a mechanically min-maxed character. Like, when you're purposely trying to deal the best damage, you're pumping out the best healing. Oh, definitely Mabel. Definitely Mabel. She loves being the best at stuff. Okay, that's one. Let me see. So we answered that one. Look at this one next. There, hold on. Let me make it a little bigger. This one's better, I think. There was an accident at the arcade, like in Wreck-It Ralph. Okay, so like in Wreck-It Ralph when Sugar Rush goes out of business, or when Sugar Rush like is taken like out of circulation for a bit because there's like a bug, and now the members of Capture Cast have migrated to a different game. Ooh, which other game, eroge or otherwise, would each of them be most at home? And why? Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, okay. Well, Oleander has to go wherever Melissa goes. So, she would probably go to a very fluffy otome game. Very fluffy. Something like Uta no Prince Sama? Utapri? Something like Utapri, or like, Under the Moon. Which actually isn't that fluffy now that I think about it. But Under the Moon looks very fluffy. So like, I can imagine Melissa wanting to find like a very all ages, family friendly, very moe kind of otome game, and then she ends up in like some Edo heavy one, like Under the Moon or Ichiwari My Master, and wherever she goes, Oleander goes. So they're a package deal. Loyal big bro. More like he's just like an obsessed cis-con. He's got a sister complex. Mabel would... Let me see. Mabel would have to go to garden, of course. Mabel would have to go to garden. A garden, if you don't know, is an eroge by cuffs, and it is very peaceful, I would say. It's got drama in it, but it's very gentle, very peaceful, and it's about these students who have a club. And let me see, hold on. I haven't actually played in a really long time. Hold on. Haven't played in a really long time. Hold on. Transfer to a new school. Just wanted to be left alone in peace. Okay. Well, basically, there's a garden in it. And yeah. Mabel is all about anything that has to do with gardening. So I'm gonna say garden, or like Cafe Sourier, which is also by Cuffs, which is a very gentle moe game, very gentle, very sweet. It does have some drama, like relating to family, or like Purely. Purely is also a really good eroge that's like very gentle and has a lot of emotions, not very violent, pretty peaceful, pretty low key. I'm gonna say Purely. Hold on, let me pull up like a visual so you know what I'm talking about. Let me see. Okay. So for Mabel, I'm gonna say something like Cafe Sourier. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. I'm gonna say something like Cafe Sourier or Purely from Mabel. I'm gonna say one of these two. Gentle, easy, eroge. Gentle and easy. And she would obviously, she'd love the bevy of women available because she's attracted to women. So that these Mabel would go to either one of these two, I think. And for Oleander and Melissa, let me pull up a good visual of Under the Moon for you if you haven't played it. I keep thinking that everybody knows exactly what game I'm talking about at any point in time. Here we are. Cafe Sourier looks so cute. It's really good. It's very sweet. It's got like some drama about step siblings and like pseudo incest, but it's very sweet, very heartwarming. So like, I think it'd be really funny if Melissa went into Under the Moon because it looks really cuddly and cute, right? But it's got like a lot of non-con in it. It's got a lot of non-con. So I think it'd be funny if she and Oleander ended up in here. Yeah, it'd be funny. Oleander isn't even attracted to men. Unfortunately, he's not attracted to men. So it'd be really funny if he was stuck there. Buyuko. Oh boy. Well, I want to. My first gut reaction is like Black Psych. But there's like no Yuri equivalent to Black Psych. Maybe like Rondo Duo? She might like Rondo Duo. Hold on. Maybe Rondo Duo. I think she might like Rondo Duo because it's a Yuri game and it's got lots and lots of sex. I'm trying to find a safe for work image for Rondo Duo. This is about as safe for work as I can find it for Rondo Duo. Here we go. It's about a girl who's cursed to have a Ojin-chin. She's cursed to have a penis, and she ends up using it on all the girls in the school. It's amazing. Fuyuko would probably like this. Let me see, what's another? I want to say, again, I just want to say Black Psych or like Extravaganza or something insane. In fact, let me pull up a picture of Extravaganza. Nope, I can't show that. That's not safe for work. There's safe for work cover. Nope, this one. Okay, this is the closest I can get to safe for work. Okay. Not that Fuyuko likes tentacles, but I think it'd be really funny if she was trapped in like a dark game. This is the most safe for work cover I can find for Extravaganza. It is a tentacle game, tentacle rape, lots of it. So, but yeah, I think She might enjoy the wanton violence going on in extravaganza. Or she might enjoy like Mugen Kairo, because there's a lot of mind games and a lot of sadism and masochism going on in Mugen Kairo. Let me pull up a picture. The only issue is that Fuyuko likes to be like the perma top. She's a top. Stone cold top. Never bottoms, top only. So she might have an issue with the fact that there are other dominant women in it. She might have an issue with that there's other dominant women. Whoops. Here we are. Mugen Kairo 2. Yeah. Also, my favorite black site game, FYI. Okay. Yeah, okay, I think I answered that question. What's the next one? Fuyuko would love very power fantasy. Oh yeah! She would love to take out her frustrations in real life in a game. She would be like a player killer. In like a Morpeg, she would be a player killer. She's like one of those people who's like constantly crashing the server. Not like a troll. Horrified Oleander realizes he made a wrong turn and stepped into dramatic murder. Oh my god. Who would Oleander be paired with is the question. Maybe Clear. What music, movies, games does everybody like? Well, because the game takes place in what is like nebulously a time period that's anywhere between like the 70s and the 90s. Like, they don't have television, right? They don't have television, so they don't have TV shows, and they don't really have access to music. Really, they have the radio, but they don't really have like Walkman, they don't have iPods, they don't have the internet. I guess Oleander would like board games, like checkers and stuff like that you have to play with somebody else, and Melissa would be very much the same way. Fuyuko would enjoy brain teasers like Clue and stuff. These are board games, people, board games. And Mabel would, let me see, what would Mabel like? What kind of game would Mabel like? Mabel would like chess. She would like chess. Yeah, something that uses the brain and something that's enjoyable and calculating. She would enjoy chess, something that allows her to defeat somebody through strategy. Yeah, chess. As for music, Fuyuko enjoys hard rock. She enjoys heavy metal. Heavy metal! J-rock is what Fuyuko enjoys. Mabel enjoys classical music, Tchaikovsky, all that kind of stuff. Chopin, Mozart, Beethoven. Melissa would like pop. She would enjoy poppy things like top 40 pop. Oleander, probably like contemporary, like rock. Yeah, but like not like heavy metal screamo stuff. You know, like Fall Out Boy. Yeah. As for what movies, nobody really has access to movies, I guess. I'm trying to think. Let me see. I want to say Mabel would like historical period pieces. She would enjoy costume dramas with lots of romance. Melissa would probably enjoy like romance, fluffy romance, sweet romance. Not really comedy, more romance, like straight romance. When I say straight, I mean like pure romance, purely romantic movies. Fuyuko would enjoy darker movies, not horror, not necessarily horror movies. But she would enjoy stuff that's kind of a downer, stuff that's kind of dramatic. I want to say like Never Let Me Go, she would kind of enjoy. Like dark drama or tragedies she would like, not necessarily horror. I don't want to like put her in that box of liking horror. Like psychological horror, maybe. What would Oleander like? He would agree to watch whatever Melissa wants. pretty much. But if he was on his own, he would probably watch... I don't know. What do men like? Sports movies? I don't know. No, he's more of an academic, so he probably like biopics and stuff like that. Okay. Let me look at this one. Let me look at this one. If you look up Darna Dude, what is your opinion on the design? Let me see. Is that a person? I mean, she's fine. She's not my type. Honestly, she's not my type. She's not my type. I prefer more masculine women than this lady. She's pretty. She's pretty. She's not my type though. She's too feminine. She's not my type. Sorry. Yeah. Too feminine. I'm sorry, Anonymous. She's too feminine for me. Too feminine. Ah, okay. Ooh, Hamlet. Yeah, that's good. I like that one. So let me see. Let's see, who else do I have? Still checking. Okay. Which anime are you watching this season, if any? Well, you know, Anonymous, I very, very rarely watch anime as it comes out. Specifically because I don't know where to watch it. Like, you have to pay for Crunchyroll, which I'm not gonna do. Like, Netflix, I guess? I guess I can watch through Netflix. The two anime that I'm really excited about this season are Tante Pretty Cure, Detective Pretty Cure, and the new Kyoto Animation TV show, the one about electricity. Those are the two that I'm most interested in this season. I don't really know too much about what is actually playing this season aside from those two, because I don't really watch anime live as it comes out. I typically just wait for the DVD. Yeah, there's a new KyoAni show. Let me see. Let me see. KyoAni, the new one. What's the name of it? Sparks of Tomorrow is the name of it. It's got really good animation. Really beautiful animation. I can pull this up. Hold on. Chainsmoker Cat? I have no idea what that is. Oh, I want to see the new Chikawa movie. That I want to see. Anyway, this is the new Kyoto Animation TV show. Yeah. I think it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Mostly I just like obsessively rewatch Sailor Moon reruns. Alright. That's that. Let me get a sip of water. Hold on. Okay, I didn't take screenshots of these newer ones, so I'm just gonna read them out loud, okay? Fellow Pretty Cure fan, yeah! Heart Catch Pretty Cure is my favorite. Heart to Catch Pretty Cure, sa minna de. Heart Catch Pretty Cure is my favorite, and I also enjoy Smile Pretty Cure. Or Glitter Force, as they tried to call it, Glitter Force, which is such a stupid Americanization. Why would you localize Pretty Cure as Glitter Force? Why would you? They changed Happy to Lucky. It made no sense. Anyway, Heart Catch is goated. Yes, I love Heart Catch. Anyway, okay, I'm just gonna read them in the order that I have them now. Hello, Moto! As a relatively new fan, how should I approach watching your older videos? Would you say your style has evolved much? I mean, my very first game was me playing, my very first stream was me playing Room Number 9. So I don't think I've changed very much at all. I guess I've changed in that I'm more, I try to stick to a schedule more. I try to stream 3 times a week. I try to have a little bit of free chat in the beginning, and then I have a little portion of the stream that I dedicate to playing the game. Typically 2 hours is my max. I think my longest stream was like 4 hours, and you know, despite streaming for so long, it didn't actually do very well, so I thought, well, I'm not going to stream that long again. So yeah, I guess what's better now is that I have more of a rhythm. I have more of a schedule. I kind of have a feel for what games I like and what games that don't do very well. Like I played Owlkana for like 5 or 6 videos and nobody even liked it. So I learned not to do that, not to pursue that. I learned that, for example, like Dramatical Murder, I played several playthroughs of Dramatical Murder, and those videos also didn't do very well, so I learned not to do that. But yeah, if you are watching my earlier videos, I'm sorry, I didn't have very good equipment back then. I have like a really crunchy model, I had really weird rigging. That's my fault, by the way. Purely my fault that, like, my rigging was wild, because I didn't know how to set it up back then. And I had, like, a free model at the beginning, so, yeah, don't expect much. Don't have your hopes up if you're watching my old stuff. Okay. Would you enjoy being drawn as a furry? I mean, I'm not a furry. So I'm ambivalent. I don't care. Either way. Whichever. If you want to draw me as a furry, that's fine. What would your persona be? Well, because of, you know, the whole teddy bear aspect of this model, it would probably have to be a teddy bear. Yeah. But if I could, like, rebrand, I would want to be a bunny. Yeah. But like I'm totally neutral when it comes to furries. It's not my thing. It's not my thing, but I don't hate it either. Hello Moto. As a new fan of your content, I was surprised to see your videos and Vtuber models 4 years ago. I really think the first one was cute. Thank you. Question is, how should I approach watching your older content? Would you say your style is similar to the previous reply? I would say I have more of a feel for what people like and what people don't like. I will not pursue. If a game is frustrating for me, I'm not going to play it. I don't enjoy games with a lot of puzzle solving. Something like Escape to Hotel Izanami is more frustrating than something I enjoy because the puzzles are very hard and I don't like quick time events. I used to play Until Dawn and it was very frustrating to set up the PS4, number 1. Number 2, I'm really bad at quick time events, and unless there's some kind of aspect of romance, I'm not really interested in it. Let's see. Is there any advice you give to a first-time developer now that you're on the tail end of your second game? Any advice specific to visual novels? Well, I wouldn't say I'm at the tail end of my second game. There's still a lot to do for this game. There's a lot to do. You know, I'm waiting on assets. I'm waiting on CGs. I need to record. I need to direct. I need to clean the lines. Well, the sound editor will clean the lines. So there's still a lot of uphill work to do for this game. You know, we're nowhere near the finish line, so don't get complacent. As for what advice I would give, it's the same advice I've said in other streams. Don't seek out friendships with people. Try to have a harmonious but a professional relationship with the people on your team. If somebody is acting unprofessional or cruel or unkind or mean or you know, unprofessional, in a way that affects your mental health, that affects the game, the deadline, cut them out as soon as possible, fire them, go with somebody else. I would say it's important to pay people, even if it's a free game, because nobody wants to work for free. Everybody's labor is worth something, you know? I mean, you work within a budget, and then, you know, it's up to you to raise the funds, whether you have a community, whether you have a crowdfund, whether you have a Kickstarter. It's up to you to figure out how to raise those funds. Oh, thank you, Chief Rob! Wow, speaking of, thank you! Thank you! Thank you! What are we at? 98%! Okay! Awesome! Awesome, thank you. So I think it's up to you to raise the funds. It's really important that you are very, very clear-minded about what is required, meaning you gotta draft up a budget. How much is everything gonna cost? How much is music? How much is BGM? How much is sprites? How much are CGs? How much is voice acting? How much is programming? How much is sound editing? How much is debugging? How much is coloring? All this stuff you gotta keep in mind. How much is the UI, you know? You gotta make a list of everything that has to be done. CG, background music, backgrounds, sprites, UI, programming, voice acting, voice directing, editing, all this stuff, sound editing, sound balancing, all this stuff. You need to keep a list of everything that's going to be done. And you need to budget out how much roughly you think everything is going to cost. And once you have those two things in place, a budget and roughly how much of everything you need, like 5 tracks and 10 CG and 30 sprites or something, and then like 2 voice actors, let's say, for example, then you need to write the script. And the script should be complete before you ever crowdfund. And I know that kind of goes against what a lot of people do. I know a lot of developers tend to crowdfund and then finish the script. I strongly advise against that because the script is the skeleton of the game. If you are constantly adding new limbs, your skeleton is gonna flail around. Meaning, if you constantly add new routes or new content, if you're constantly changing, your writing to appease people, then your script is never gonna be done. It's gonna be inauthentic. And it's just gonna be a slog, and I don't recommend that. There was a game, I don't remember which one, but I know they were like, based on the reader feedback, we decided to change the dialogue, and I didn't like those changes. They made it less poetic and more horny, and I didn't like it. I thought it was a downgrade, honestly. And you don't want to make changes just to appease somebody. You wanna have the conviction of what you write and stick with it. Like, are people gonna like Omegaverse or Yuri? Probably not, but I like it, and hopefully the people that do like it realize that I put a lot of effort and heart and love and blood and sweat and tears into this. And if they like it, then it's the game for them. If they don't like it, then it's not the game for you, So yeah, get a budget, make a list of everything that needs to be done, stay very organized, stay on top of everything, communicate, reach out to people, stay professional, but friendly, but not like parasocial, Stay courteous, but professional, yeah. Don't go seeking out friendships. Don't try and push anybody to be like your bestie or whatever. They're not your bestie. They're your employer. They're your employee. They're your employer or your employee, depending. So yeah. And I don't really know about commercial products because I've never made a commercial product. If you're gonna make something that's commercial, meaning you're gonna sell it for money. If you're gonna sell it for money, then you gotta triple the budget. You gotta triple the budget because you have to pay everybody commercial fees, everybody. And I strongly recommend legal contracts for people, specifically for voice actors, just because it's easier that way. They're locked in. You don't have to worry about finding somebody else. And I do recommend finding backups, like if so and such composer doesn't work out, you can find a different composer, just in case, I started reaching out to people in December! I started reaching out to people about my game, and started writing it in December, and I finished it in late February. It took me like 2.5 months straight working on the script just about every day. And yeah, I reached out very early to people because I knew right then that these are the people I want to work with. These are the people I need to find potential backups for. And you know what? There were bumps in the road. You know, I have had on this project as well, I have had people ghost. I have had people refuse to refund me. I have had people have to drop out of a role at the last minute and having to find somebody new within like 2 weeks. And I was very, very fortunate to find somebody new within 2 weeks. So you have to account for people not being able to commit or having to drop out of the project. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, that's very pertinent, Cerberin. Think it's okay to have your friends working on your project, but boundaries have to be set and you need to be their employer first and their friend second. Everybody has to be mature enough to recognize that. Absolutely. I have seen projects, not just visual novel projects, but like projects in general, creative projects, and it like took years and they still hadn't made pretty much any progress. They were still like rehearsing 2 years into the project, and there were bullies on the project. There were people back talking other people, you know, like kink shaming other people, smack talking other people, insulting other people. You don't want that on your team because number one, that's a toxic environment, that's a bad environment, that's a bad person to be on your team. I would say it's just a shitty behavior in general, just bad behavior in general, very unprofessional. If somebody's going around bullying or, you know, cyberbullying the people on your team, trying to make them feel small, trying to make them feel big, you don't want that person on your team. Not only is it bad for team morale, it makes you look like an idiot for allowing that person to remain on your team. It shows that you have no backbone. And it shows that you don't really have the drive to finish a project. If your game is still like in the beginning stages 2 years in, that says something about you. That means you need to be better with your time management and you need to be better with navigating the challenges that come with project development. You gotta learn how to pivot. You gotta learn how to have backups. If somebody's being unprofessional, fire them. If somebody's not responding to you, cut them. If somebody is not refunding you, do a chargeback. You know, do what you must. Okay. And obviously everybody should be 18 and older. Regardless, I don't care what the age rating of the project is. Everybody has to be an adult. You don't want to work with minors. Again, due to that whole immaturity part, and especially if you have adults working with minors, it's just not good. Don't work with minors. Like, if you're minors, work with a bunch of other minors. Yeah, but like, I don't think that project would get very far if you're a bunch of minors, due to the fact that if you're commissioning people and dealing with money and dealing with credit cards and stuff like that, yeah, you'd probably have to be an adult for that stuff. The problem is when the project manager has somebody who completely destroys the atmosphere of the project, gives them passes over and over because they're the manager's friend. Preach! Preach, Cerberin! I've had that in real life, and I've seen that in other game projects. Not good. Let's see. What is the most surefire way to rage bait each of your characters? Okay, well, I can't tell you exactly because it's a real spoiler. I can't really tell you about Fuyuko because that's a spoiler. I can't really tell you about Mabel because that's a spoiler. Well, for Oleander, obviously just hit on his sister. Just hit on his sister right in front of him. Just stare at her a little too long. You know, just stare at her a little too long and Oleander will start to be like, huh, what are you doing? Get away from her. That's my sister! You know, he will start to get jealous if you stare at her a little too long. For Melissa, she's not really that easy to rage bait. She's very different from me. I guess being unkind, being a bully or being unkind would make Melissa angry. Yeah. For Fuyuko, I can't really talk about it. And for Mabel, I can't really talk about it either. I'm sorry. Ironically, Mabel and Fuyuko kind of have the same trigger. They kind of have a shared topic that sets both of them off that I cannot talk about. I'm sorry. About to get reminded real quick that Oleander is lethally poisonous. Yes. The names of the characters originally, Melissa was meant to be a placeholder, but I decided to keep it. And Melissa means honeybee, like with the Greeks, honeybee. And I thought, well, okay, we should have some plant names. So, Oleander is a plant. So I decided to have a plant to complement the honeybee. And I thought Mabel was originally hyacinth, right? Mabel was originally going to be a flower name like rose or lilac or lavender or hyacinth, right? She was hyacinth for a long time. And then it was like hyacinth is kind of hard to say. And I hate spelling it, so we're going to call her something more down to earth. We could call her Maple. We could call her Mabel. And I decided to go with Mabel. For Fuyuko, I wanted a seasonal kind of name. So Fuyuko was originally named Winter, but then I thought, well, I want to lean into her Japanese heritage, the fact that she is a Japanese character, so I would change that from Winter to Fuyuko. And that's everybody's names. You said earlier that Fuyuko is always the top, right? Yes. She's like the dom, she's the top, never bottoms. I imagine trying to take a dominant tone with her might piss her off pretty fast. Yeah, the fact that she constantly gets into like street fights, she constantly gets into fist fights, is a good indication that she's pretty much looking for trouble. She courts trouble, she courts danger. And that's kind of her way of letting off steam, is fighting. Physical fighting. Dolcino says, just the fact that it's free is such a massive gift. Thank you. Winter's the best season. Hard disagree. I hate winter. Let me get another sip of water. I think we have 2 more left. We have a very sweet one. I want to say you really inspired me to do my best with your positivity despite the current state of things, and I admire you a bunch. It's because of you I thought about becoming a VTuber again. Well, thank you. What advice would you have, and what would you tell somebody who knows nothing about rigging to start? Well, if you already have a custom model, you can always reuse it. If you do not have a custom model, there are plenty of free assets. If you go on Booth, Booth is a Japanese site with a bunch of free assets. You can also look on Okumono, Okumono. They have a bunch of like free overlays, free backgrounds. Yeah, you can use free overlays, free backgrounds, free like chat boxes. Like, you don't have to really spend a lot of money. If you don't want custom models, if you don't want, like, fancy rigging, you can find, like, pre-made models to use. If you want to rig yourself, I cannot give advice because I don't know how to rig. In fact, I barely know how to calibrate this model. So unfortunately, I can't really give advice from a rigging standpoint. But I would shop around. I would look on VGen. I would not look on Fiverr, don't trust Fiverr, but I would look on like VGen, and see if you can find people who have discounted rigging, or, you know, you can always use sample models, like I said, pre-made models, and I'm wishing you the best of luck on your VTubing journey, whether you become one or not. Okay, last one. You're a dedicated visual novel streamer. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you had to play a non-visual novel game for stream, what would it be? Good question. I do want to play Until Dawn again. I want to play Until Dawn again. It's just like $60 or something on Steam, and I can't justify $60. That's almost my entire grocery budget. My grocery budget for a week is like $100. I can't afford more than half of my grocery budget. I would like to play more pegs. I really enjoy stuff like Black Desert. I've played that before on my own, before I became a VTuber. I really enjoyed it. Let's see, Black Desert, Genshin Impact. I would love to play with people. What's the other one? Honkai Star Rail. I'd like to play with people. I'm not sure if that's for PC. I've only played it on the PS5. But yeah, like more pegs. I'd love to play Genshin Impact. I'd love to play Honkai Star Rail. I'd love to play Black Desert. If you have any other fun more pegs to recommend. I love the Sword Art Online games, like the console games. What about Baldur's Gate 3? That one's really nice because it is Dungeons and Dragons, but with a couple house rules. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't really know anything about it. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed. Like, if somebody gifts me a free copy, I'll play it. But I don't know how much it is. All right. I think those are all the questions. Wow, I got a lot more than I was counting on. That makes me happy. Thank you. Let me get another little sip of water. And let me see what else there is to chat about. I think those are all the marshmallows. Let me check my straw page, just in case somebody left something on my straw page. Nope, nobody left anything on the straw page. That's okay. Well, we have quite a few questions. And I'm very happy with that. I love talking with you guys. I love chatting with you all. And it really makes me happy that I can just chat with you, just lord dump on you. And that makes me happy. I'm gonna try to get, like I said, I would try to get the schedule out like tomorrow, because I'm tired today. I've been like working pretty much all day on commissions and recording and streaming, and I just need a little bit of a break. But tomorrow the schedule will be up, so do not worry. Like I said, I'll repeat it here. We have, let's see, Thursday we have Nurse Love Addiction at 5 p.m. And Saturday we have Subahibi at 5 p.m. as well. Those are the only other two streams I have this week. And then next week, there's a very special stream on the 12th that you might want to check out. You might want to check out whatever that special stream is on the 12th. You'll find out. That's all I have for today then, chat. Thank you so much for stopping by and keeping me company. Thank you for asking me questions. Thank you, Cerberin, and thank you, Nanashi, and thank you, Dolcino, and Alice, and Fumi, and Memento, and Chief Rob, and Glottis. I think that's everybody. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you for another fun stream. Like I said, I have some fun stuff coming up. Keep an eye out for the 12th. That thumbnail may change very soon. And do not forget to donate to the crowdfund if you want, or I have commissions open. And also, the trial version is coming out on the 12th, so please play it for yourself and enjoy.